Stop wasting time on old methods. This is the future of lead generation for online coaches. And if you don't adapt, I'm pretty confident your business will not make it into next year. I've spent the last 6 months testing this strategy with a bunch of coaches, and the results have been pretty remarkable. And before I get into it, you're probably asking yourself, do I need to pay for ads? How quickly can I get leads and sales? And how much money can I actually make? Don't worry, I got you covered. But before we get into the strategy I'm going to tell you, you are going to need these 3 things in place. Number 1, a very clear target market. You need to know who you serve. I'm not talking to beginners right now. Do you help busy mums? Are you the keto guy? Do you help men with dad bods? Do you help men with man boobs? Do you help women burn their love handles? You need to have a very specific target market. You also need to have a solid content structure. If you're not posting content, then I can't really help you. And number 3 is a clear funnel. Can someone easily land on your page and book a sales call with you or your team? If you've got those things in place, then let's go. So let's start with Instagram. The method is quite simple. I want you to think of a plant. Obviously, this is a fake plant. What we're gonna do is we're gonna boost a post. And boosting posts is like watering seeds, right? It gives your content a chance to be seen by more people and have some sunlight, and it grows. The same thing applies here. We're gonna boost a post so that it gets seen by more people, but not just anybody. We want it to be seen by your ideal client. You might have an ad that says something like, if you're a busy dad who wants to lose his man boobs and get rid of his double chin, you need to do this, this, and this. So you give them value in the post, but the call to action is to actually get them to follow. And it doesn't have to be a video. You could do it as a carousel post. You could do it as a picture post. But I've seen videos and carousels do the best. My advice is if you're gonna shoot the ad, make sure it's good quality, you've got a microphone, it's clear. And I always think that you wanna be aspirational. So if I'm doing a video for men, I'm taking my top off, I'm shredded, I'm looking good, I'm showing off my muscles while talking. That's my preference. But you gotta show people that you walk the walk. Now, to actually boost the post, it's actually so easy. All you gotta do is after you post it on your Instagram, there's a boost button. You just press boost and then you just pick an audience. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can pick an audience based on demographics. So you might want men above the age of 35, or you could leave it and let Meta just pick your audience automatically based on the people that already follow you. The only way that I would do that is if your audience is already filled with the kind of people that you want. If it's not, then you need to pick it based on demographics. So when you press boost post, it's gonna give you a chance to pick what you want. So you pick age, you pick gender, and then you pick a few interest layers. And that's how you avoid getting the wrong type of leads. And there's no point boosting posts if you get a bunch of people that are not the right fit. Yo, that's only the first step. We ain't done yet. Now, imagine if you was going out and you're looking for a date. You wouldn't just go up to a girl in a bar and be like, yo, do you wanna get in bed with me? No, you'd probably warm them up a little bit, you chat to them, you might get their phone number, but you get to know about them, you get to know about their life, and then maybe a week later you go on a date, and then maybe the next week you finally spend a beautiful night together, etc, etc. It takes a bit of time. You don't just show up and get the girl straight away, right? Now you've boosted the post and you're attracting the people that you want, it's time to have a conversation with them. And according to Social Sprout, personalizing your messages increase response rates by 20%. And with this method and you boosting your post, you can expect to get followers for like 20 to 40p, especially in the fitness niche. From here, you want to be DMing every single new follower. And I like to use a simple video message, and it's literally a selfie video of me saying, hey, appreciate the follow, how you getting on? You working on anything fitness related at the moment? Or do you have any fitness goals for the rest of the year? Look forward to hearing from you, get back to me. Quite simple, it's just a really chilled out selfie style video. I send it to every new follower. It feels really personal and it feels really relaxed. It works like a charm and I always get responses. But here's where people make the biggest mistake. In the DMs, you're trying to sell straight away. You need to relax a little bit. Take a bit of time to get to know them. What are their goals? How long have they been trying? And then from there, that's when you start to potentially make some offers. But it's got to be the right time, which then leads me to the next point. If you've ever cooked, you've probably marinated food before, right? If you haven't, then you're probably not a good cook. But the more you marinate the food, the nicer it tastes, the seasoning soaks in, it tastes really good. I want you to think of nurturing your audience in the same way. You are marinating them to potentially buy from you. And the way that you nurture them is doing stuff like this, long form content, podcasts, email marketing, YouTube videos. Longer videos are working a lot better now than they ever have because this creates a deeper connection with you and your audience. It's not like a 30-second reel where you're dancing on TikTok, delivering absolutely no value. And it's very important because you have to remember, like, these followers, they don't know you. So this is the best way for them to get to know you. So to keep it simple and practical, you should be posting your daily content on your social media platforms. Then you should be posting long videos like this 1 or 2 times a week. On top of that, you should be giving away stuff. So have some lead magnets that you give some value away, do some workshops, do some webinars, like give away all your free shit because people will buy. And then continue the conversation. So don't stop there. You still need to have a conversation with those people, but now that you've had a bit of back and forth in the DMs, they've consumed some of your content, now it's time to go for the kill and ask for the sales call. Now don't get me wrong, some people will buy straight away, but that's gonna be a very small percentage. Others are gonna need convincing that you're the right fit, you're the right coach for them, and that's where this nurturing process comes into play. Which kind of leads me to the next point. You've got all these followers, but you've got to turn them into booked calls. So your nurturing is the key here. And in terms of what you want to be aiming for every 100 followers, you should be trying to book maybe anything from 8 to 12 calls. That's a good conversion percentage. And booking calls for clients is sort of like fishing. You need the right bait, you need the right hook. And if your technique ain't on point, you ain't catching the fish. So let's start off with your DM strategy. It needs to be friendly. It needs to be realistic. It can't be robotic. And if you've got virtual assistants or an appointment setter, you have to make sure that they are trained properly. And to be honest, the training never ends because nobody can talk like you. But if they've got industry knowledge, those are the best appointment setters. When they know the industry inside out, they can be flexible in a conversation, they can use their initiative, and that's really the key. When you're DM setting, you need to cover some important factors. Do they have a goal? What are they struggling with? Is it something they want to work on right now, or is it more of a future thing? If they cover those 3 bases, then offer the call. On the call, you can find out all the extra stuff, like have you invested in mentorship before? How long have you been trying? All that other stuff. That's what the call can do. But as long as you cover those bases on the DMs, you're good to go. In addition to that, your social media needs to be on point. So you should be doing call to actions in your stories at least 2 times a week. One should be like a hard call to action saying, hey, I've got X amount of slots open, DM me for more details. Then another one could be an indirect call to action, which is like a sequence of messages that maybe ask a few questions, then lead to a final question of, if you want help with this, DM me the word X. So to keep it practical, if you was a coach that helps men lose their dad bod, it might be something like, do you feel like on the weekends your diet falls off? That's poll number 1. Then number 2 will be like, do you feel like you've been going to the gym every single day and still not seeing results? That's poll number 2. And the reason I say that is because it's going to attract people that are already trying. Then number 3 would be, I've had a few people in the same exact issue and I know exactly how it feels. That's point number 3. Then point number 4 might be, I just created a step-by-step guide for dads that helps them lose their dad bod. Who wants it? That's point number 4. And that's my call to action, because now I'm gonna message everyone that says they want it. Simple. Now, everything I just spoke about, the same process can take place, but now you can start hosting workshops and webinars. Workshops and webinars are really, really good because it gets everybody in one place at one time. And although it's virtual, it's still powerful. You can do this in person if your business is localized, but getting everybody in the room virtually through Zoom or whatever platform you use is very, very powerful, and you can just sell at scale. It is a skill in itself to learn how to do this, but you should be hosting some type of immersive experience once a month or every 2 months so that you can sell to a majority of people in one go. The last point I want to make here is very, very crucial. 90% of you coaches are just focusing on posting a 60-second reel. Let's be honest, how much value are you learning in 60 seconds? Bro, I've been learning Spanish for the past 7 months and I still ain't learned anything. It takes more than 60 seconds to digest something, believe in it, and be willing to spend money on it. So creating long form videos like this is the secret hack to really boost your business. When you provide long form, in-depth content, you end up attracting serious clients who actually appreciate your knowledge and are more willing to invest in your services because you've demonstrated expertise. And the best way to think of it is like, what's the difference between reading a short email versus reading a full 100-page book? If this author was trying to sell me something, he would get me closer to the buyer stage versus just reading a 1-page email. So to keep it practical, one long form video every single week covering different pain points of your audience. How to lose fat, how to lose your man boobs, how to look better in the mirror, how to get more confident, how to improve your sex appeal, whatever it may be, just make one video every single week. Doesn't have to be fancy. You can see these videos are pretty basic. That's what you need. Or you could make a podcast. That way you can collaborate, you can leverage other people's audiences, and you do that once a week. And after every episode, you publish it, you put it on YouTube, you put it on Spotify, and then you send it out to your email list. This is probably one of the best ways to grow your business. And the biggest benefit of YouTube content is it's evergreen. YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google, and guess who owns YouTube? Google. So look, if you get all of these steps in place right now, it's going to be impossible for you to lose unless you actually want to lose. But there's one key factor to make this all a success, and it's mastering your DM strategy. Because if you don't get the DMs right, people aren't going to book calls. And if you want to fill your diary with qualified calls every single week, you should probably watch this video right here.